Marcus Tell had worked city construction sites for 18 years, and he knew the rhythm of a project mourning the way a musician knows the downbeat. The first trucks grinding through the gate at 6:40, the smell of diesel and turned earth, the safety briefings nobody sat down for. He was standing just inside the chain-link fence at the Crestholme Avenue Bridge rehabilitation site, clipboard in hand, watching the gate when Nadine O'Saberell pulled up in a white City Fleet sedan at 7:03. He recognized her immediately. Most people on the project did. Nadine had designed the phased drainage reconfiguration that saved the city 4 months and $250,000 in rework. Her name was on every stamped drawing tacked to the trailer wall. Her hard hat, regulation yellow, with O'Saberell stenciled in black block letters across the back, was as much a fixture on this site as the survey stakes she'd driven herself. What Marcus did not do was walk toward the gate. He told himself later it was because he was mid-count on a rebar inspection. The truth, when he let himself sit with it, was quieter and less comfortable than that. The man at the gate was Dale Pruitt. 2 weeks on the job, contracted through the general, assigned to site access and sign-in. Marcus didn't know him well, a handshake and a last name, the way of big sites. What he saw, from 15 yards away through chain link, was Pruitt step in front of Nadine's path before she reached the badge reader. Not question, a block. Vendor staging is around the east perimeter, Pruitt said. His voice carried in the morning air. Follow the orange cones. You can't come through here without a project access badge. Nadine stopped. She had the stillness of someone who had been stopped before. Not frozen, not flinching, just very, very still. She set her hard hat on her head with one hand and reached into the breast pocket of her safety vest with the other. I have a project access badge, she said. My name is Nadine O'Saberell. I'm a project lead. I'd like to come through. She held out the badge. City issued, blue lanyard, photograph. The letters PL in the upper right corner that every gate coordinator on a municipal site was trained to recognize as project lead. Pruitt glanced at it. Not long. The kind of glance that isn't really a look at all. The project lead already checked in this morning, he said. I've got her on my sheet. You need to go around to vendor staging and let them know what you're delivering. Marcus felt something tighten in his chest. He set his clipboard against the fence post and did not move. Nadine did not raise her voice. She did not shift her weight. She held the badge a moment longer, then lowered it to her side. The project lead did not check in this morning, she said, because I am the project lead, and I have not yet checked in. Who do you have on your sheet? Pruitt looked back down at his clipboard. He named a name. A materials coordinator Marcus also knew, a woman who handled aggregate delivery schedules. Not the project lead. Not even close. That's my materials coordinator, Nadine said. Her voice was the same temperature it had been since she'd gotten out of the car. I appreciate you checking your sheet. My name is Nadine O'Saberell. You'll find in your system under project lead, City of Crestholme, contract number PR 2241. I like to come through. I'm going to need to verify that, Pruitt said, and his tone had shifted into the particular register Marcus had heard before on sites. Not hostile exactly, but flattened, the way some men's voices went when they'd already decided and were only performing the motions of checking. I can't let people onto an active site without confirming their role. That's exactly right, Nadine said. Which verification procedure are you following? Pruitt looked up. The city has a standard credential verification protocol for project personnel, she continued. It requires the gate coordinator to cross-reference the badge number against the project roster in the site system. The system is on that tablet on the desk in the booth behind you. My badge number is on the front of the badge I just showed you. What I'd like to know is which step in that procedure you are currently on. Marcus heard one of the iron workers behind him say something low and dry to his partner. He did not turn around. Pruitt did not open the tablet. I'm going to have to call my supervisor, he said. I think that's a good idea, Nadine said. While you do that, I'm going to make a call on my own. She stepped to the side of the gate, not away from it, not toward vendor staging, not conceding an inch of the ground she had every right to stand on. She stood at the side of the gate, where she was visible from both the booth and the site interior, and she took out her phone. Marcus watched her scroll to a contact, watched her press call, Watch her hold the phone to her ear with the same composure she brought to every pre-construction meeting he'd ever sat in. What he also watched, and what he would think about for a long time afterward, was himself standing 15 yards away doing nothing. The call lasted 40 seconds. Marcus heard her side of it. "Good morning, Harriet. I'm at the Crest Home gate. I need about 11 minutes of your morning." "Yes, thank you." And then she lowered the phone and slid it into her pocket and turned back toward the gate and simply waited. Her hands were at her sides. Her chin was level. She did not look at the ground. Pruitt was on his own phone now, pacing a half circle in the booth. Marcus caught fragments, a woman claiming to be the project lead, and felt something move through him that he did not have a clean name for. Something between recognition and its opposite. He put down his clipboard. He crossed the yard to the gate. By the time he reached the fence, Pruitt had ended his call and was telling Nadine that his supervisor was on the way and that she would need to wait in the staging area. Nadine had not moved. "She's the project lead," Marcus said through the chain link. Pruitt looked at him. "I'm handling this." "I know you are," Marcus said. "I'm telling you what I know. I've been on this project since day one. She designed the drainage system you're standing on the approach ramp of. Her name is stenciled on the back of that hard hat she's wearing right now. She's the project lead. I've got a protocol to follow." "The protocol," Marcus said, "involves opening the tablet in that booth and entering the badge number. You haven't done that." Pruitt's jaw tightened. He didn't answer. At 7:14, a black SUV with city plates turned off Crest Home Avenue and rolled to a stop behind Nadine's sedan. The door opened and Harriet Voss got out. She was the city's director of public works. Commissioner Voss to the contractors, Harriet to the 24 project leads she'd known for a decade or more, Nadine O'Saberell among them. She was in a blazer and hard hat, which meant she had pulled off the highway from a site tour upstate. She had driven 40 minutes in 11. She walked to the gate without hurrying. She looked at Pruitt. She looked at the badge reader. She looked at the tablet, still dark on the desk in the booth. "Open the tablet," she said. Pruitt opened the tablet. "Enter badge number PR 2241 PL009. He entered it. The system returned the name in under 3 seconds. O'Saberell, Nadine A. Project lead, Crest Home Ave Bridge Rehabilitation. Access unrestricted. Commissioner Voss turned to face Pruitt directly. "This woman has unrestricted project lead access," she said. "Her badge number is in the system. Her name is on every permitted drawing for this project. She designed the drainage configuration that is the reason this project is on schedule and on budget. She asked you to cross-reference her badge number with the site system. You did not do that. Instead, you directed her to a vendor staging area and told her the project lead had already arrived, which was incorrect. That is what happened here this morning. Do you understand that?" Pruitt said he understood. "You'll be reassigned from gate access duties pending a review by the general contractor's HR office," Commissioner Voss said. "I'll be speaking with the site superintendent in the next hour." She paused. "You're going to learn a great deal in this industry if you stay in it. One of the things you're going to learn is to open the tablet before you form a conclusion. That's not a lesson about technology. Do you understand what I mean?" Pruitt said he understood that too. The gate opened. The badge reader beeped green. Nadine O'Saberell walked through. Commissioner Voss walked with her for a few steps, not in explanation, not in comfort, but the way two colleagues walk onto a project site together after 14 years of shared work. They spoke in low voices about the substructure pour scheduled for Friday, about the rebar inspection logs Marcus himself had been running, about the weather window. Marcus was still at the fence. He watched them walk toward the main trailer, and he felt the specific discomfort of a man who has done the right thing somewhat late. When Nadine passed him, when she turned briefly to look through the chain link at the booth and then back at the site, he said her name. She stopped. "I should have walked over there sooner," he said. "I watched it from the yard, and I stood there." She looked at him for a moment, not with anger, not with absolution, something more careful than either. "You did walk over," she said. "That's what I know." She went to work. Marcus picked up his clipboard and went back to the rebar count. But the numbers sat differently on the page than they had at 7 o'clock, before the white sedan pulled up to the gate. He counted to the end of the row, set the pen down, and sat with what he'd seen. In the trailer, around 9:30, the site superintendent held an unscheduled 10-minute meeting. He read from a city procurement office notice that had arrived by email while they were in it. Effective immediately, a 60-day site access equity audit would be opened across all active municipal projects in the Crestholme district. Every gate coordinator assignment, every instance of a credential scan bypassed, every vendor redirect logged without system verification, all of it reviewed. The audit had been requested by the Director of Public Works that morning. The meeting lasted 12 minutes. Nobody spoke much afterward. Nadine spent the morning at the river edge with her survey equipment, checking the elevation benchmarks against the drawings she had spent 11 months producing. The work was exacting and absorbing and entirely her own. Hers in the way that 22 years of precision and care make a thing yours, deeper than any title on a sheet, deeper than any lanyard, deeper than any gate. She paused once, mid-morning, and looked up at the bridge frame rising against the sky. The bones of a thing she had designed, going up true and square and on time. The city would cross it for 100 years without knowing who had made it possible. She knew. She picked up the level and went back to work. Marcus finished his inspection logs at noon and walked them to the trailer. On the way, he passed the gate. The badge reader sat on its post, green light steady, doing exactly what it was built to do, reading what was there, confirming what was true, opening to whoever the record said belonged. He thought about 11 minutes, about a 40-minute drive, about the difference between a tablet that stays dark on a desk and one that gets opened. He thought about Nadine O'Saberell standing at the side of that gate, her chin level, her hands at her sides, waiting for the world to catch up to what she already knew. He pushed open the trailer door and set the logs on the superintendent's desk and stood there for a moment in the cool air before going back out into the morning. The bridge frame climbed against the sky. The city's work went on.